Welcome to the Hustle Skirt Podcast, the show that brings you economic equity for everyone, every day, with your host, Debra Gould. Yes, I am Debra Washington Gould, President and CEO of Debra Gould and Associate Inc. DGAI is a New Orleans-based management consulting and performance management business founded in 1996. Please visit my website at www.gouldassociates.com to learn more about my professional service offering in management consulting, training, facilitating, and executive coaching and business motivational keynote services. So let's talk about why you're here today. The Hustle Skirt Podcast. As you can see, I have this amazing guest, Robert Kennedy, in front of me, and I will introduce him in a moment. The mission of the Hustle Skirt Podcast is to promote, communicate, and amplify the influence of men and women entrepreneurs for business profit. Yes, you heard me right, for-profit businesses. Of course, I will invite C-suite and higher executives with corporations or nonprofit organization. So to say a little bit more about the Hustle Skirt Podcast and its meaning is one, I'd like to let you know it's a hustle mentality. It's not something that we do some of the time, but all of the time in our professional services, whether it's construction services, to share with you the possibility for the opportunity of working with your corporation or your nonprofit and community-based organization. Hustle Skirt objective, we're staying for being focused, being humble, being thoughtful, being bold in the services and with confidence that we bring to our clients. You can't be what you don't see. And so we give it all our best in our services to serve all mankind. So without a doubt, you see this gentleman here, Robert K. Kennedy III? Well, let me say without a doubt, we did not live this long or strong to be put on the back shelf. And you're going to hear that from Robert today. So here we go. Robert, give me an opportunity to share your credential with my audience today. Robert Kennedy, president of Kennetik Kommunications, is a trainer, keynote speaker, workshop facilitator, and coach in leadership communication and presentation confidence. Over the past 15 plus years, he has executives and business leaders on bringing their communication to life. He specializes in public presentation skills, speech preparation and structure, team building and presentation planning, development and delivery. Notable corporate and government clients, just to name a few, whom Robert has worked include Barnes & Noble, Johnson & Johnson, U.S. Coast Guard. He is involved in his community through various boards, including the School Boards Association for Talent Development, Maryland chapter, youth leadership programs, and helping nonprofit conduct mock interviews. He is also a professional member of the National Speakers Association. His contact information, his office, area code 410-575-3657. His website, www, all one word, robertkennedy3.com. Robert, welcome to the Hustle Skirt Podcast today.
Hey, Debra. Debra. How you doing?
That's
You
what
know how
I'm
we do
talking
it.
about.
Come a little groove. Yeah.
I
How you
love it, love
doing?
it, love it. That's the way you bring it with pizzazz, Robert. That's what I
That's
love
right.
about you. Now,
That's
I'm going to
right.
ask you a couple of questions here today, but take every opportunity in this interview to please repeat your contact information. Because, ladies and gentlemen, my motivation for doing this podcast and doing videos is this gentleman here out of Maryland. He is the bomb, and I want you all to know. If I know Robert J. Kennedy, I want you to know about Robert Kennedy III. Okay, so globally, get ready for RK3 in the
That's right.
house with Hustle Skirt podcast host today. My first question to you, sir: tell us about your startup or existing business ideas. In other words, what motivates you, RK3?
Man, that's a big question. What motivates me? I think the biggest thing that motivates me is one word: legacy. What do I want to build that will outlive me? What do I want to do that will provide transformation for others? What will provide inspiration for my children, for my family, for those who I come in contact with? And that's why I do what I do. If you're not in business with a purpose, right? I love to say this: if your why isn't strong enough, you won't be around long enough, right? You got to have this thing that really drives you each day, because when you wake up, the world is not this pretty place with roses and cherry blossoms always floating around. So you've got to find this thing every day that you're pushing after. And so you got to figure out what your strong why, and mine is to have something that transforms others, that outlives me.
Ooh, I love it. I knew you were going to bring it, Robert. Okay,
Mm,
let's keep this going, sir. What services or products do you offer? Even though I said that in your intro, I
yeah.
want them to hear from you, just in case I left something out, RK3.
So the central part of our business is keynotes and workshop programs. We do that. I would say that's probably about 60 to 70% of what our business is. Workshops include things like presentation skills, confident communication. We do workshops on how to use or infuse storytelling as the main framework for your communication, whether that be in person or on camera. We do a lot of things with virtual experiences, especially since the pandemic started and everybody moved to doing things on Zoom and doing things online. We started to hear this word Zoom fatigue, right? And Zoom fatigue pretty much was people online on these meetings all the time. And I don't think the issue was so much Zoom. It was just it was that people were in the same boring meetings week after week, hour after hour, day after day. And so what we started to do was share with people how not to just have Zoom meetings, but how to create virtual experiences that engage and connect with your people, even in an online space. And so, the fact that I come in and I bring in music, I bring in confetti, I may bring in some characters, right? I might sometimes have a little dude run across the screen or whatever it is. I create fun virtual experiences and show people how to create that engagement and that connection with your audience, so that whatever you do in that space is memorable for them. So I think that's the
Oh,
big piece. Outside of that, we also do courses, online courses. Every once in a while, we'll do individual coaching, but we do have group coaching programs for mainly in the real estate industry, for real estate professionals who want to be able to up their video storytelling presence.
ooh, 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 please jump in and share your contact information.
Well,
Please.
right below me, get in touch with rk3.com. I could say I'm on Instagram here, I'm on Threads here, I'm on LinkedIn here. Listen, just go to get in touch with rk3.com and you'll have all of the information that you need. All of the platforms I'm on are there. Some of the programs that we offer are there. Contact information is there. Just go to get in touch with rk3.com.
That's what I love about you, RK, through your uniqueness, and you bring it. One more question before I bid
Yeah.
you goodbye. What would you change about your business journey if you could go back?
Wow. That, you know what? I don't know if I would change anything. Here's why. It's easy for me to say, yeah, I would do this different or I would do that instead. But there are things that you learn on each phase of the journey just because you did it the way that you did it, right? There are mistakes that you make and you learn specific lessons because of those mistakes. If I were to jump over the mistakes, if I were to jump over some of the things that I did, then I wouldn't have learned the lessons that I learned. All I can change and all I can do is control what I do going from today, right? From here on out. So I take those lessons, and if some of the things that I wish I did were, oh, I wish I'd have done this faster. Okay, now let me take that lesson and implement it so that I can accelerate today, so that I can do it better. I can do it more efficiently today, because it doesn't make sense for me to just have any regrets or to say, yeah, I wish I'd have done that differently, because there are some lessons that I learned that are associated with my errors and mistakes that are invaluable to how I operate and show up today.
I trust that my audience listening to this message, that was right on point. That's what I love, your high energy, and you bring it. So we're at the end, Robert, but I want to
Wow,
take a
that was quick.
moment to say thank you. Thank you. We're going to get in touch with rk3.com.
That's
And
right.
as I close out this particular Hustle Skirt interview today, are there any other closing remarks you would just like to share with my audience, Robert?
You know what? I would just say, for those of you that are doubting yourself, for those of you that are being hesitant because you're not sure if you've got all that it takes, or if you're qualified, or if you're equipped enough, I would say, number one, give yourself a little bit of grace, because you've been put here on this planet to do something amazing. You've been put here to do something awesome. And that thing is to make a difference in the life of somebody else. How you do that, how you show up, is based on the gifts, skills, talents, and the experiences that you have. So take all of that stuff, grab your courage, and show up with energy, with enthusiasm, with excitement every single day.
Get fired up about that passion. Oh, oh,
Yeah.
oh. So as I close out this show today, again, the Hustle Skirt podcast objective is to empower you to speak up with power, embrace change in your own vision, mission, and purpose, and get fired up with your passion just the way RK3 did it just now. Make sure to visit my website at www.persistencelane.com, where you can subscribe to the Hustle Skirt podcast, 9 different platforms. So visit www.persistencelane.com to find out more about the Hustle Skirt. And while you at it, if you found this interview of value with RK3 today, please give us a rating on iTunes, or just tell a friend. You got to check out this particular website. Get in touch with rk3.com. You're listening to the Hustle Skirt Podcast, the show that brings you economic equity for everyone, every day, with your host, Debra Gould. Robert, until we meet again, take care, my friend.
Thank you.
My
So
best
excited
regards
to
to the family.
All right.
I hope it's not sizzling hot in Maryland, because, man, it is hot in New Orleans. Take
It's hot
care.
here. Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
bye-bye.